today we got a 2017 Ford F-250 with a 6.7 liter power stroke, and the customer that brought this to me, they bought an air horn they wanted me to install. Just give them something a little bit louder. The factory horn is loud in my opinion, but never be too loud. So the kit they bought for this truck is this Farbin, the electricity machine horn, high decibel snail air horn. And in the kit you got the horn, the wiring harness, a relay, a inline fuse that's already built into the harness, and the installation hardware. Alright, so the way the instructions explain the wiring is the black wire is the ground for the horn, the yellow wire is horn power, red is power from the battery to the relay, which when it goes through the relay it becomes power for the horn. The blue is positive for the coil inside the relay, and the white is the negative side of the coil in the relay. So what I tried to do here was draw a simple wiring diagram that'll give you a visual explaining what all this is up here. So you've got your red wire and your blue wire, which are the positives or the powers going to your relay, and then you've got your yellow, which is also a power going to your horn, and you got your white right here, which is the ground side of the coil circuit in the relay, and then you've got your black wire, which is your ground side of the horn circuit. Now in the case of this truck, it already has the relay, the wires run, and all that is already in place for the stock horn that's on there. So everything that was sent in the kit is basically for you to wire up a whole new horn circuit, but we've already got that circuit built into the truck. So what I'm planning on doing is coming in here. Of course, I got to get all the grill and the covers and everything off, and the horn is sitting right behind the grill right here, mounted to the radiator support. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the stock connector off of the end, splice my own connectors on there, and hook up the, of course, the snail air horn that they bought for the truck, and that should provide all the power that I need and switch properly when you activate the horn. Alright, so I got the top shroud off and I got the grill off, and all that consisted of was taking out 14 of the little plastic push clips that held the top shroud on all the way across, and then you had 8 10mm bolts across the top of the grill. And then what I had to do was come to the side of the grill, pull it off. You'd feel it release from a couple of little plastic clips on the side here and on this side here. And then on the bottom, you've got these little sections here, which on the bottom of the grill had these little metal clips that slid into them. And what you had to do was, once you had the top of the grill pulled back, you come in here with a screwdriver and press down on those clips to release it from the body. Now once you got the grill off and loose, you're going to have this connector that plugs into the camera that's on the grill, and then you're going to have this hose that provides the washer fluid to the front camera washer, and you have to obviously pull that off and unplug that one. You can take your grill off. Now here is the stock horns that are on it. Of course, you got two horns. You got your high tone and your low tone, and you've got your connector that is a 2-wire connector. So you've obviously got your power and your ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug this and then come back in here and take that bolt off, and that's going to allow us to take both of these off and the bracket, and that's going to be where we're going to mount our new horn straight there, because it's dual horns with the new setup, but it's all built into one unit. It's not split up like these. So we'll unplug this, take that off, and then I'll show you what I do when it comes to cutting this connector off and splicing on some new spade clips to connect to the new horn. Okay, so I got the factory horns off, and when I went to take the factory horns off, I undid the 10mm bolt that was holding the bracket on, and there was a little J clip that slid onto this plastic mount right here, which allowed the bolt to thread onto it and have clamping force to hold the bracket on. So I had to take that little J clip off, just slid it off, and then I was left with, I'd say, about a 3/8 inch hole right there where it usually bolted in. And the kit came with this little spacer right here that obviously had some grooves for friction to hold it in place whenever you mounted it up, and it also had this little tab on it right here that kept it from being able to slide on and off of the bolt. Well, when I put this on there and I went to tighten it up, there wasn't enough threads on the back side of the mount where the nut went to actually get the nut started, so I was not able to put this on. So what I did was I took some washers, put it on the back side with the nut, clamped it down, and once I got it on there tight, I took about 2 zip ties. I zip tied it around there so it won't go forward or back. I have to worry about it rattling off, hitting bumps and stuff going down the road. And on the bottom here, it just ever so slightly rests on this support, so it's very, very sturdy, barely goes anywhere. And when it comes to the wiring part, here, this is the stock connector right here. I cut it off. Of course, I left just a little bit to splice back on to if they wanted to change the horn out or go back to the factory horn. And I got 2 little spade clips, or spade plugs, female spades, and that had the solder seal type deal on the back end. So obviously I cut it, I pulled back some of the sheathing right here, cut it, put electrical tape back around this to keep it from splitting apart and falling apart, ran the wires out of there, clamped the wires into the spade clips, took a little lighter, heated them up, got them all shrunk against it and sealed now, so they're good. And in this case, the brown wire is the power wire and the black wire is our ground wire. And I was able to hook it all up. I was able to keep everything as far as the wiring for the camera in its stock position. It kind of hits it a little bit, but it's just resting against it. It's not going to interfere with anything. I did have to pull this little clip out of this slot right here so I could get some more slack to run the wires down to the horn. But other than that, everything went together easy. Didn't really run into any complications with it, and it's ready to go back together now.
Before I end the video, I just want to give you all a quick before and after clip.
Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for today. I appreciate you tuning in and watching the install of this horn, and I'll catch you in the next episode.